our guest artists. So I'm gonna record it in case anybody's not in this space so that they have this information as well. Um, I'm going to go over some basic information about strategies that we use as actors. Okay. And again, if any of you already know this information, just take it as some nice review or a different perspective, or maybe it's exactly the same perspective that you've had on it. But for some of us, it'll be the first time that they're hearing some of these thoughts and practices. So, oh, actually, I'm going to pause for 1 second. Okay, my darling. So we're going to talk about this homework, but these are actor homework. This is actor homework. So I'm going to reference it. All of these things, by the way, are in your unit folder number 3. So everybody in this class can access it in unit folder number 3 written out. And I suggest that you pull that up and take a look at it so you can kind of reference it. And if ever I'm saying something after I finish explaining it, it still doesn't quite land or you're not exactly sure what I mean, please ask those questions because that's going to be really helpful, especially to our community partners who may not have heard of any of this before. So you're doing a service to them by asking questions on their behalf potentially. Okay, so the first one, again, this is in step, I believe it's listed as step 3 in the unit folder, in the activities section. So one thing that I want to talk about is, and please make note of this, write this down or type it up as I'm talking. Even though it's in the unit folder, there are going to be things that land for you from what I'm saying. So please write this down. What I would like you to do, what we all do as actors, is we locate or make up something called a moment before. This is especially important for this play. And here's why. So what is a moment before? Each scene that you appear in, whether you speak or not, in each scene, what we do as actors is we figure out what happened the very moment before the scene begins. So before, what is the thing that either you said or somebody said to you or you did or somebody did to you that launches you into the scene in action that it results in high stakes responses. So basically, especially it's important in this case because we're shooting out of sequence, meaning we are going to be recording scenes and you have to be able to quickly as an actor get yourself to the spot where what just happened influences how you're behaving in this scene. And in a lot of times in this play, even when we are in sequence, your character may have been doing something different that isn't indicated in the play. So it's always important for us to do that. So the idea is when I say action or Bernardo says action, we're recording a scene. You don't start from nothing to, okay, now I'm in the scene, right? You want to be in the scene before action is called. So if I am the character of Lucas, right? Say I'm the character of Lucas, and before this scene here where the filmmaker is asking me a question, some guy on campus just, before I got to the VRC, just took the parking spot that I was waiting for, that clearly I was waiting for, and he pulled in there. And so, right, and then I didn't get that spot. And then I was walking up into campus and I came into the VRC. And as soon as I get in there, I got hit up with some stupid comment by somebody walking by. And then I walk in and here are these students, right? So what can you build up? What can you build up so that you are like in it? Already you have a point of view. Already you have a history of something that just happened to you that makes you in your space right now. And again, as we always talk about, we want to make high stakes choices. In theater, we focus on drama, on conflict. So whenever there's a choice of how do I feel at this moment, you may be in a really good mood, your character. So maybe something just really fabulous happened. Like you just got a text from that person that you were interested in, that you've been working on for a week, and they just texted you, yes. And now I'm up in the space. Or I just found out that I got 100% on that exam. I just found out, I looked on, Bronco Direct or whatever, or Blackboard, and I found out. And now I'm starting the scene in this space. Make it a really good thing. Or if it's a crappy thing, something really crappy just happened, make it specific, make it something you can relate to, and then let it launch you in. Now, this is if you're making it up, right? There are other times in the play where if you look at your scene, the moment before is written for you. It's already indicated in the play. So the first place we go as actors is we look to the script. Does the script tell me what happened the moment before? Maybe somebody just said something to you, and then you can react to that, right? But look first to the script. What is the moment before this scene starts? And if it's not in the script, make it up with a high stakes choice. Okay, so that you should be doing for each and every scene that you appear in. I want you to write in pencil. Always write in pencil, because you might change your mind and find a better one later. But when you print your script up, use a pencil and write your moment before, a little key thing that will remind you of what that moment before is, so that you can launch yourself in immediately. So does anybody have any questions about what I mean by moment before? It's okay if you do, if you don't know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, cool. So that's one piece of homework. Mark down and create or locate your moment before for each and every scene that you appear in, whether you say a word or not. And that's important because, have you seen, like, when you're sitting in class now, look around in class. When we see people sitting in class in a scene, if people are just like this, then are they in the VRC? No, they're not in the VRC. They're just sitting, right? But if they're in the VRC, then depending on who they are, like, okay, I'm looking around, I like the way things are going. Today's a good day. Or, you know what, that guy's an asshole. That guy's, I'm having a feeling, I'm looking at him and he's an idiot. What did he just say? Or he's an idiot and I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to keep this look on my face, but I'm thinking he's an idiot, right? I mean, whatever it is, you each are helping to tell the story of this space and this place and this moment by being present and responding authentically as your character, whether or not you say anything. And in fact, on camera, you don't have to show it. You don't have to act it. If you think it, we're going to see it. Okay, so know that. All right, so those are the moments before. The second piece of homework, hi Jeremy. The second piece of homework is I'm going to have you mark what we call beat changes. Some of you I talked with about this during rehearsals when I had you last week, but some of you I didn't get a chance to talk about. So write beat changes. And what that is, the definition, it's kind of hard to define. I've given a couple, these are a few I give to my intro to acting students, which is a few different ways to define a beat change. A beat change can happen when there's a change in the story or a moment in the scene that is clearly written in the play by the playwright. So the playwright may indicate that something shifts, like in the play. So they maybe have that. That's one way that you can identify a beat change. Another beat change is when a character tries a new tactic to get what they need. When you as a character or somebody tries to do something differently. Like, for example, if what I need right now is to give you information, I'm giving you information, I'm sharing information. But then I might have a beat change when I go, oh, hey, Jeremy, how's it going? Right? And then my next line was like, it was a change. It was a change in the beat. Something different is happening. So we're indicating change with beat changes, right? And then the third one is kind of similar to what I just said, is sometimes the rhythm changes when we're in a beat, when we've changed a beat, right? It's from la, 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 I'm talking, and then like, oh, now it's different. And now it's something else because I'm going to give you some feedback, right? The, the literal rhythm of the space changes when there's a beat change too. These are three particular indicators of beat change. Now, what I'm asking you to do is go through all of your written lines, all of your lines with a pencil, and to mark with a little hash mark is how I do it. You can mark it however you want to do it. It's your script, but pencil because you might change your mind, or the directors might say something that changes your mind, or you in rehearsal discover a different time than you thought first. But we do our homework before we come to rehearsal, is you mark those little changes, like here's where a shift happens. Now I'm giving an example here, and Jeremy, this has nothing to do with you. I just picked a random one. I picked a line of Lucas's. Okay, so the line is, an unlawful order is one in direct violation of a previous order from a high-ranking individual or the code of military justice or the Constitution. And then there's a beat change, or even a random personal favor, because there's a little bit of a difference. This is basic stated information, and then there's like, well, I thought of this thing, or it could just be from a random individual. So that's a little different. There's a beat change there. Then there's another beat change. We're not just mindless robots following orders. So that last beat change, what would you say is the intention, the objective, or the need of that character Lucas to convey with we're not just mindless robots following orders? What do you need? Do you know, Jeremy, what do you need at that moment as Lucas?
Other than to continue to make uh, Jasper feel bad.
Yeah, you
for
want
asking
Jasper to
questions.
recognize that he
Yeah.
screwed up again, right? Like don't make assumptions. You're clarifying. The first part was giving him information, and then you slightly different information. And now you're saying, and don't make assumptions about us, right? So yes. So there were 3 different beat changes within that one little section. And one could argue there are different beat changes, but you want to go through as an actor, go every line and mark those little hash marks. Where do I think a change is happening? Okay. This is kind of an odd concept. Does anybody have questions about the beat change notation? Okay, cool. All right. And now your third piece of homework. Again, these are not things that have to be done tomorrow, but the sooner the better. So the third one is memorize your lines. So that look in there. Rehearsals will be way more productive and much more fun for you once those lines are down. And I want to make a point about this. In our typical life, certainly as students, if you're going to take an exam, right? You're going to take an exam, you need to learn some information. You sit down, you read the book, you get the information in your head, then you can spit it out onto the page when it's time to put it in to the exam, and that's how it works. Memorization as an actor is a completely different thing. It's a whole body experience. Acting is a whole body experience. I often say the body tells the story. And even if just there's a shot where you're just seeing this part of your body tells the story. Like there's a different story being told if I'm like this talking to you and I'm telling you like this, my body is telling a very different story than if I'm telling you the story like this. Right? It's different. And the way that memorizing lines is affected by that is that we memorize not first in our heads and then in our bodies. And I think you all know about this concept of muscle memory, right? So what is muscle memory? Can somebody say, what's muscle memory? How does that come out in life normally? Go, Andrew.
Muscle memory is being able to perform a certain action like over and over again.
And your body just knows what to do, right? Like when we get in the car and drive, our body knows, when you first learn to drive, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to sit down, I have to turn the key, I have to put it in gear, my foot needs to go here. Like we have to think about each and every step. And then after you've been driving for a while, you just get in the car and you go. Your body remembers how to do it. Same with like dance moves or exercise or drills. Your body just knows how to do it. Your body knows where to go. And it's involved in your muscle. It's embedded in your muscle. This thing here, that tongue, that's a really important muscle as an actor. The more times that you speak your words, you speak your lines at full volume, out loud, the more your mouth as your first muscle gets used to saying those lines. It makes a huge difference. And what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to add these pro tips in here. I call them pro tips because those of you who already have done it know this, and you probably do it all the time. And again, what you want to do is you want to speak your lines out loud. It doesn't work to just do it in your head. Believe me, I have been the victim of not having done that and then blowing it. It's a very different thing. In front of people, in front of an audience, it's not a good feeling. Say those words out loud at full volume on your feet, while moving around. So you can start working your lines, have the script in front of you, have it printed, so that you can walk around and do it. It makes a huge difference, even than just standing in place. So you're going to do this at least 2 times a day. Say all of your words. And I know that sounds like a lot, and I'm not going to be there to police you, but I'm telling you what works. As somebody who I'm a solo performer, so I've written before solo plays, meaning I'm the only character, I'm the only person acting out the play. I wrote it, I play several characters for an hour and 20 minutes. It's just me on stage right? So I've done this before. And when I do that, I personally go on a hike every day and say all the words. And it gives me a chance to explore the characters and the moments, and also just puts it into my body. I do that every single time when I was performing, these plays. I would do it every single day that I was in performance. So in rehearsal and in performance. And it sounds like a lot, but it really makes it freeing when you show up to the space. Because here's the thing, as actors, our tools, our emotions, our responses, our authentic responses, our reactions to what's coming at us and what we're feeling, those are our tools as an actor. We are authentic. Acting is really just responding authentically to imagined circumstances. That's really all it is. And so you are already doing a lot of great work, but how we replicate it is that we get these lines into our bodies so that in the moment when we show up into the space, we can actually respond to each other in the moment, which may be different than the time we did it before. There is no right way to say a line. And in fact, if you're saying it the same way every time, it's likely that it's lacking some in the moment authenticity. So please memorize your lines. Start doing that right now and get up. And so what is the assignment? How many times a day should you do this? Somebody tell me. At least 2 times a day, at least, right? And what else should you be doing it? How should you do it when you are doing what with your body?
Spoken out loud while standing and moving around.
And moving around, right. And out loud meaning full volume. So don't whisper. It's a different feeling. Try whispering right now. Okay, okay, okay. Or okay, okay. It takes different time at different volume, right? And I want to encourage you to all take your time with your moments, which you will do as actors, which gives us, the audience, an opportunity to experience what you're feeling, understand it intellectually, feel it emotionally, and then be ready to go with you on that journey. So please do those things. So those are your pieces of homework. The 4, again, I'll repeat: locate or make up your moment befores for each scene, indicate the beat changes within all of your lines, and memorize your lines, including those strategies for doing so. Also, I want to suggest to you, everybody in this play has the same need. They all need to get those down. So I really recommend what we call is having somebody be on book for you. On book means that they're holding the script when you're working on your scene and they're reading the other lines to you so that you can get your lines exactly right. And here's one little bit of a warning, and then you can do that for them. You can help each other out that way, and it makes it a lot more fun. And the problem with, you can't guess. In theater, you can't sort of get the line. You've got the playwrights in the room, so you don't have that luxury. We're going to know. So mistakes will happen, but we're going to ask you to get those lines specifically written, because I'm telling you, I'm about to go in to do some revisions and change some very specific words to make our community partners feel accurately represented to their liking. So if you get a word wrong, it's not just Bernardo Rye that you might be messing up. It might be offending other people. So every word matters. So let me tell you that you want to, while you're memorizing them early on and saying those words, have that script in front of you. Have it in front of you, and so that you get every word right. Because once you create a neural pathway with the wrong words, then it's that much harder to get it right. So Chris Salazar is joining us. Woo, hello, Chris. All right, so we were just talking about strategies for memorizing lines. So anyway.
Oh, well, don't ask me.
Well, and also I want to tell you all that in this process, you may think that you can read off the screen and we won't know the difference, but I'm telling you that we will, and it will affect your performance, and it will not be good. So don't do that. Don't think you can do that, because it just won't be as full and wonderful. So great. Any other questions about memorizing lines and the strategies for that? So, the due date for having the lines memorized will be the day we get back from spring break, which is, I think, the 4th or something, 5th maybe.
Spring
But
break?
yeah, we have spring break.
Woo-hoo.
We're all going to Florida. No, we're not. Don't do that. No, we're not. We're going to get rid of this pandemic, dang it. Plus, why would we go to Florida? We're in California, some of us. Anyway, some of us. I just want to say, what was I going to say before I was goofing around and wasting our time? I can't remember, so we'll just keep moving. But oh, don't wait. Again, don't, yeah, right. Don't think that you can wait to start memorizing your lines. I mean, your homework of saying them out loud, even if you don't think you're memorizing them, start that today. Okay, start that today. Don't wait. I promise you, you will not be happy if you wait. All right, so good. Those things are done. Any other questions about this? All right, I hope I didn't make you all freak out by having more work during all your heavy workload, but this is part of being in production. So hopefully it leads to fun. Okay, so one quick thing before we have to jump into rehearsals really quick, but please look, there are a few of you I'm gonna ask a favor of. A few of you are not called into scenes right away to rehearse. So we are asking from the production team that you do what we call a phone camera test. So I will make, you can just turn off your sound and camera and do it on your own, but stay in the Zoom space so that you're available. But we're trying to test and make sure that this notion that hopefully all of you are going to record your performances on your own phones, because typically the quality of the recording is much higher than just in this little Zoom space, and the sound quality is better. So I'm going to ask, let me see, Jeremy, Sarah, Teddy, Demi, Jason, Samia, and Hudson. Would you please do the phone test? And if you go into the unit folder, so you're gonna, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, but try to set up your phone so it sits just over your computer screen, whatever you're gonna do. You're gonna eventually have a tripod, but you may not have that yet. But when we record, you will have that. But for now, just try to set it up in any way that you can manage. If you can, ideally, I'm going to be asking everyone to see if they can set up their system when we finally can. Today's probably too soon for this rehearsal, but ideally for the next rehearsal, set up your space so that you can be on your feet. And even if we're just seeing this part of your body, you can be standing up in front of it. And we want to, but for the test, we're going to have your camera be as close to the top of your computer screen as possible, so that you can look at the, we're going to have you look at the screen and record yourself. Okay. And just pick, like, record yourself on your phone saying a few lines, like 10 seconds or so is fine. And then we'd like you to play it back to check the volume output. And if the volume seems too soft, try recording it at a higher volume. If you think that your scene may have walking or moving in it, try doing that with your lines so we can again see how the sound sounds. And remember that if you are walking from outside the room and in, that you need to project your voice a little, just like on stage. You need to be heard because that microphone is on your phone, which is going to be far away from you. So you're going to need to speak up like you're walking into the space, okay? Those directions are in the unit folder again. So I know I said it fast because I want us to get to our rehearsals, but any questions on that? Those who I asked, does anybody have an issue with doing that? And then once you get those recordings, for now, I'm going to have you email them to Valencia. And Valencia will distribute them to whomever eventually should look at those. A bunch of us should. Is that okay,
Can
Valencia?
you, yeah, that's fine. Can you repeat the people that's going to be doing the
I
recordings?
am. Yes, I will repeat that. Thank you so much. So that is Jeremy, Sarah, Teddy, Demi, Jason, Samia, and Hudson. That's just from like 3:30 to 4. It should take you less than a half an hour to do that. It only should take you a few minutes, really. But I mean, it'll take you a little time to set it up so that we're working that into that half hour. But none of you are required to be in rehearsal from 3:30 to 4. So we're asking if you could do that for us, please. Okay? Anybody have an issue with that? I know I'm asking a lot. I'm going to keep asking. Yes, Demi.
I'm confused. You said you wanted us to set it up near our laptop camera, or?
Yeah, well, here's the, and let me try to be, I'm bad because I'm already eating into rehearsals, so I'm sorry. But so here's what we think we're gonna do. We think we're going to, in rehearsals and recording, have it so that the people you're in the scene with are on your computer, so you can hear and respond to them, but you're gonna record yourself from your phone, which will be just above your computer. So that camera and that sound will record you, but you'll still be able to interact with people who are on the screen with you. Does that make sense? we actors do this when we send in self-recordings of ourselves. That's exactly what we do. We have a reader on screen on Zoom with us a lot of times, and then we record ourselves. Yes, I'm here. Thanks. That's all right. Great. And we record ourselves on the phone because it's better quality. Does that make sense? Thank you for that question, Demi. Anyone else?
Is it if it's because I'm trying to figure out how to set this up on my phone, but because I usually operate like you guys are on my laptop and then like I have my desktop here.
Okay.
I can just move. Could I operate from my desktop? And try that.
Either one. You can use your desktop or your laptop, and then just use your
Okay.
phone to record yourself. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it is fine. Samia,
Okay.
I'm gonna make you the host, and then would you make
Oh.
Bernardo and I co-hosts?
Sure. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Samia. I mean Valencia.
I was like,
Yeah.
all right. I mean, this
I
is.
love how willing you are to go with this. Samia. I love that.
I wasn't gonna question it. I was like, all right.
I love that about you. My sad little brain. I'm talking to somebody, so that's the word that comes out of my mouth. I'm sorry, Valencia. I was clicking on you though. My brain. It's a very sad thing. I told you I'm trying to recover from my stress over the weekend, so it's not working so well. But thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Valencia is going to make us co-host. Valencia, also, would you please open up a breakout room for Bernardo to put people in, and I can stay in the main room. The rehearsal schedule is also in unit folder 3. For those of you who don't have it in front of you, that's where it is in front of you. So I'm already supposed to be on scene 8A with Jasper, Sarah, and MC, and I've blown it because I'm late. But we're going to try to start right now. And then I'm going to try to catch up because I've got MC in the next scene. So the rest of you, we're going to have a break at 3:55. The rest of you who are not in my scene, would you turn off your video? And you can turn my sound down so you don't have to listen to us. And the stage managers will let you know. We're going to hide non-video participants so that we can just see who's on screen. I'm going to do that. Does everybody know how to do that?
Did you want me to send everyone
Would you please?
to a room? Yeah, I
Thank
got
you
it.
so much. Thank you so much. Love having you. Okay, great. So I think Chris Salazar, are you with us, love? Yay, perfect. Hello. It's so nice to see you. All right. Okay. So, and Valencia, you want to cut your feed, your video feed, love? Okay. So, my dears, you all have the new script. We're going to scene 8A. I don't think your scene changed. but-
This is the draft from 3-8.
This is draft 3/10/2021. It's called Fourth Draft. It was sent to everybody by Valencia this morning.
I sent it this morning.
So go ahead and grab it up if you don't have it now. I meant to mention that at the very beginning. Oh, let me stop recording.